guys, how's it going and welcome back. Well, today is final review time for the Foscomax Wi-Fi adapter. Now this thing can run from USB 1.1 right up to the USB 3.0. And of course they do claim that 2.0 is about 10 times slower than 3.0. So 3.0 is 10 times faster. That, I will say, for the record, they are full of it. Okay? Totally misleading on that one. There is not a 10 times difference in speed. Okay? I've done enough testing to know that much. So, what we're going to do here, every one of these is plugged into a 3.0 adapter, okay? Or USB port. So my iMac, my tower, and this little netbook. And the interesting part is they're all running on a 5G network, or 5.8 gigahertz network, okay? And they're all running at precisely 300 megabits per second is what they're being able to suck in from the router. And it doesn't matter if I go into the kitchen and do this or if I'm in here 15 feet from the router, it's the same speed. It's not going to change within this level, okay? Anyhow, so just some back information. We are on what's called a Rogers Rocket Hub for our internet. So it's cellular data on a phone SIM card. Now, we could have home phone service on that same router, but we chose to went with a landline from Bell Canada as an emergency backup phone because our cellular phones are not the best. The antennas in them are much weaker than what's in that Rocket Hub. So we don't always get the world's best connection on our cell phones living out in the country, right? And the fact that we're getting 300 megabits per second on these little guys is really great because it's actually some pretty decent speed. Though it could be a lot better if we were closer to the tower. So this is where the part of the video gets into if you are running a completely wireless internet to your house, like a rocket type hub or a rocket stick type of thing, right? The closer you are to a cellular tower, the faster your connection is going to be, even with your own internal cards right now, okay, that are in your computers, be it a desktop or a laptop. And all laptops have internal wireless networking cards, okay, at least these days they do. Of course, your iMacs have always had internal wireless, okay. The Mac Pro, I can't remember off the top of my head. Yes, it did have internal wireless. Yes, it did. But anyways, but your PC towers, unless you buy it with a Wi-Fi already in there, you have to put your own in or order the tower. If you custom order a tower from like Dell or some other company, you would be able to custom order a Wi-Fi adapter through them or just buy it off Amazon and save a pile of money, really. In our case, we went with MDG for our, well, I have a gamer computer. My wife's computer is not classed as a gamer system, although it can do a really great job at it. Mine's just a little bit higher end than hers. However, these computers through MDG, we were not able to get them with Wi-Fi adapters. It wasn't an offer, so we buy our own. And I thought, well, you know, card, my video card on my current motherboard actually covers that slot that I would need for a internal Wi-Fi networking card. So I thought, well, I need another solution. So I found these things from Foscomax. Now, there's many different brands out there, different styles. They have ones with dual antennas. They claim to be even faster. Now, the speed of these things is going to be dependent on your incoming connection. Now, 11 kilometers away from the nearest cell tower for us, because we're fully wireless, okay, in a valley, deep below, out of line of sight, the best we're going to be able to do with these things out of 1200 is going to be 300. They claim 300 megabits per second at 2.4 gigahertz bandwidth, 5.8 gigahertz bandwidth, they claim 866, but up to 1200. Now, we're on the 5 gigahertz. Our router can be used on 2.4 or 5. We have locked the router in at 5 gigahertz because, hey, it's virtually twice as fast as the 2.4, so why not go 5.8 and just leave it there? However, we can still connect as a 2.4, but it is slower. So here's some specs for you. My netbook, internal card, 72 megabits per second at 2.4 gigahertz and 150 megabits per second at 5.8. So it's actually more than twice as fast. Now, on the dongle at 5 gigahertz, we are actually at 300 megabits per second. We're not even going to discuss the other one. It's pointless. My tower is dependent solely on this thing, and it is at 144.4 at 2.4 gigahertz and 300 at 5 gigahertz. My iMac internal card is 53.95. That's actually slower than my netbook. On the internal card at 2.4, and it's 210 megabits per second on the internal, so more than 3 times quicker on the 5 gigahertz. Kind of funky. Now the Mac, of course, is running on the 5 gigahertz band with one of these adapters right now at 300 megabits per second. Now, when it comes to these devices, your horsepower of your computer means absolutely nothing, okay? Your connection rate is your Wi-Fi adapter. So you could have 1,000 gigabytes of RAM, you could have a 200 core processor running at 10 gigahertz each. It's not going to do anything for these adapters, okay? It does not help in that sense. Where your horsepower of your computer comes in is how well it uses that 300 megabits per second, okay? How fast can you actually surf? You need memory in your computer. Okay, now this has got 2 gigabytes of RAM in it. It's got a 1.1 dual-core processor and a full-out blown Windows 10. I don't like the shaved-down versions that come with these, so I just go full-out Windows 10. And I can't upgrade my hardware memory beyond the 2 gigs. Although, not long after I got this, they came out with the same model, but with 4 gigs of RAM, and I was like, man, if only I should have waited an extra month. Anyway, stuff happens. So, I have 16 gigs of RAM and a 4 gig Radeon 500 series video card in this thing. So this is an 8-core processor running at 3.7 currently, and I can boost it to 4.3 to get a little bit of extra juice. That's pretty good for an 8-core. The iMac, of course, is a quad-core at 3.2 gigahertz, 16 gigs of RAM, and it has a 1 gig NVIDIA 755M video card in it at a gig. So that's the specs of the machines in basics. This is just onboard video, some cheesy little graphics thing. Anyway, netbooks are made for surfing, really. So let's do a little bit of testing and see what we come up with. Now I'm going to leave these extra browser windows open. It's not going to make any difference anyways for how fast things happen. So we're going to leave this one open, and because we're drawing, right? Plus my wife's surfing right now too. So here we go. Now we're looking for this video to launch. That's actually pretty quick. So let's see that one more time. Plus I've got the netbook opened with YouTube on it. Pretty good for being out in the country at 300 megabits per second. I'd say that's alright. So let's leave this one open. Let's go to the Mac. It's got to load the same little video up top. Now it has more to load on the page too than this one does, as far as, like previews of, recommended and stuff like that. Okay, one more time on the Mac. Okay, now let's shut down the Mac. Now let's fire up the PC. pretty quick. Let's shut the PC off. Now you notice this whole time I haven't done anything with my netbook. I've left it on the YouTube page. Because it's really not going to make a spit of difference one way or the other. Okay? But, just so that the skeptics, let's get out of there. And I need to get this onto network 5. Alright. So, now, the laptop has no browser open. Reasonably quick. Laptop's now shut down. Nice and quick. Okay, let's check out the laptop now, the little netbook, this little weak thing. Ready, set, let's go. So, I think we can stop at that. The horsepower of your computer is definitely going to make a difference, regardless of how fast your connection is coming into your Wi-Fi system. Your computer's hardware performance, the faster your computer, the better it's going to work with that 300 megabits per second that we are achieving. Now, we can achieve much higher speeds, okay? I'm actually going to take a look and see if there's any kind of booster antennas that I can put on our rocket hub to boost it up even higher. That, or maybe see if these things will mount and buy some extra ones and see if that improves above the two that are on there now. I like to experiment. It's a toy, right? Anyways, so you can achieve faster connection rates with either this or even your internal wireless as long as the signal coming in to your Wi-Fi side is powerful enough. So whether you're running a data-lined rocket hub like we are, so we're all cellular, all no wires anywhere, or whether you have a fiber optic line coming into a Wi-Fi router, or you have a regular phone cable coming in, or you're on a satellite system, whatever it is you're using to get your internet to your house with, the faster that system is, the faster your network card is going to be able to connect at. However, your network cards are always going to have their limit to how fast of a connection they can actually do and maintain, right? So, I know that my iMac can go much faster than what I'm being given here at the house here with the Rocket Hub. Because I'm getting 210 internal and 5395 internal between the 2.4 and the 5. Obviously the 5 gigahertz is the 210. When we were living in North Bay, we had 1 month before moving here where we had the Rocket Hub in use at the house in North Bay. And we were literally 1,000 feet from that tower. The speeds were so blazing fast, I couldn't keep up surfing page to page. It was like boom, 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 boom. It was mental. I uploaded a 638 meg file in a matter of a couple of minutes. That was nuts, okay? The same file here at 300 megabits per second takes me about roughly 45 minutes to do. And that's when we have a good strong connection, the weather is in our favor, which is generally winter time. And of course, in the situation where not everybody is sucking the signal from the cell tower at once, okay? And with what's going on in the world right now, currently, as you guys all know, we're all stuck at home. And what are we going to do? We're going to surf the net. So within the next 20 minutes to a half an hour, I'm going to see the same connection speed, but I am not going to be able to pull on that because there's going to be whack loads of people going crazy on their iPads, their iPhones, their Android devices, their rocket hubs, and it's going to go mental swing. So we've kind of figured out the time of day right now where it's ideal to actually surf, upload, download stuff with current world situation going on with everybody going surf crazy at home. But to get the connection rate itself faster than 300 megabits per second, I need to get closer to that actual cellular tower. And we have actually done surfing with just, of course, internal cards on our laptops. We would go to the church because that's our strongest connection point, and we just took our iPads with us. We didn't take the Rocket Hub. But our iPads are also on the LTE network. Now, those network cards are still nowhere near as strong as our Rocket Hub can do, and yet our speeds were phenomenal, especially with the same size file of over 600 megabytes. It was uploaded and processed in about 10 minutes tops. Now that is extremely fast, even just using the iPad as a hotspot, and I don't plug my iPad into my USB port. I just totally left it wireless. And so we each went up with our laptops, we each had our iPads, and we would upload videos that way to get them up quicker, because we also have unlimited data on our iPads. We have a 100 gig limit on our Rocket Hub. So if we want to go upload crazy in a month, we just take our iPads with us and just do it there. Even on 3G, being that close to the tower, really good speeds. At home, at 3G on those tablets, oh my goodness me, it is slow. But the LTE side is actually quite quick, but still not near as quick as the Rocket Hub, yet we're connecting at the same speed rates. Okay, it's kind of interesting the way different Wi-Fi systems work, okay, as well. But anyway, that's been our experience. The other thing we found out was that, well, my wife was without wireless access on her tower. She was plugged right into our router to the Ethernet port, and though she has gigabit Ethernet on her tower, the line coming out of that router is certainly not that fast, because even these little suckers are way faster. Even my iMac without one of these things is way faster than the Ethernet, and that technically shouldn't happen, okay, because normally the Ethernet is quicker. But in these Rocket Hubs, for some reason, it's a very slow Ethernet port, so it doesn't actually have a lot of throughput to it, which is kind of weird. But anyways, so that's what we got for you guys. But where do we stand with all of this jibber jabber jazz? Well, I'm going to say I highly recommend these things. I mean, at $20 a piece, you really can't go wrong, okay? They are a little bit, in your way on a laptop situation. But on an iMac or on a tower, they're out of your way. It's not a big deal, right? I mean, you got to get wireless going somehow on your computer. Now, if you have a tower, you could opt out for one of these cards, okay? And they have these in even really super high speeds, too, above this thing. Okay, like this one's rated at 2974. We're talking about, this is a Wi-Fi 6 Bluetooth 5.0 system, okay? 2.4 gigahertz. You're going to get 574 and up to 2400 on 5 gigahertz. Could this actually benefit even us here at home? Well, me personally, I guess I'll never know, because my motherboard design is such that where they placed the video card slot, it covers my port that uses this card, which is a real cheeser, because it's one less port I get to access. Although I think my wife has a free port like this, so we may actually think about trying one of these things out. But we want to find something that's a lot faster and see if that actually connects quicker than these things. Now, these things, don't forget, they're rated at 1200 megabits per second, and they're only connecting at 3 with our particular situation. right? Because we are fully wireless. We're running off cell towers. Okay, not everybody's in this situation. So you are going to benefit regardless the closer you are to a cell tower or the type of connection you have coming into your home with your current internet provider, okay, however that may be. But something like this that's actually faster is what I'd probably go after for an internal card, and we'll find out. I mean, if we decide to get one of these things, and if it does benefit even higher above 300 megabits per second, we will definitely let you know. Because see, you also need to have upload and download. Now, speed connection is great, but every internet service provider too also has upload and download restrictions too. Is that going to make a difference? I guess we'll have to futurely wait out. So, I don't know when it'll happen or if it's going to happen where we get one of these cards. I'm just saying this is where I'm thinking maybe it might not. However, in my situation with my particular tower, with my board, that slot that requires this is covered, which is why I needed to go to one of these things. And these things rock. They are really, really good. You know, definitely worth the 20 bucks in my books all day long. And I would definitely agree with the other 342 ratings on here that have averaged this thing out at 4.5 stars. Now, if you go, I would recommend clicking on the ratings themselves and saying, okay, this guy's a 5 star, 5 star, 5 star, 5 star, 4 stars, okay? Of course, I think part of this is a question in here he's not sure of. And people, you know, they record. When I'm wired to the router, I get about 900/900 for up and down speeds. With this adapter, I get 260 to 380 up and down. So he's talking about Ethernet versus the wireless in his situation. Now, like I said, in our situation, our Ethernet bus is very slow connecting to the computer's fast Ethernet bus, where the wireless, we're faster. So you got to kind of take that one with a grain of salt. 5 star, 5 star. And read what they say, you know, because I mean, there are some people here that actually do know what they're talking about, it turns out, which is another reason why when I looked at these things, I was kind of like, yeah. Now, this one here, Wi-Fi cuts out often, mainly with 5G. Well, I've never experienced that. It's possible that he doesn't actually have 5G capable in his router. That is possible, because there are a lot of routers out there that actually can't do it. When you try to do it, it'll just keep barking. We've actually preset our router now at 5 gigahertz, so for me to go to 2.4 gigahertz is very unstable. Okay, yet if I leave the router set up to connect either or, and I connect with either or, I am very stable both sides. Just as if you wanted to know how that worked out. See, 4 out of 5. I mean, so you've got an average rating here in the end of 4.5 out of 5, which I agree with. Nothing is perfect. People are in different situations. They're going to have different experiences. But in general, you have something that is even on the Amazon Choice list for this, which I tend to think that Amazon Choice definitely does speak more volumes over a product that doesn't have Amazon Choice on it. You got to kind of look at it, right? Anyways, so if you have any questions or anything, guys, you know how the drill works. Leave it in the comments below. I'll do the best I can to answer it. If I can get my hands on one of these PCIe network cards, I'm pretty sure my wife has an available slot. I'll double check. And if she does, and if we do get one, then I'll make sure we get one that's really smoking fast according to specs. They have one here that actually says 3,000 for 41 bucks. Then it's got 4 out of 5 on it. Right now it's on a limited time price, but even at 50 bucks, that's actually, I think, better than the other one we were looking at, wasn't it? Yeah, it was. It was like 59. So maybe we'll look into a 3,000 megabit one and seeing if we can connect even at the house. Is it going to be any stronger and any better? Because this is dual antennas. It looks like it's got a big, it's got a set of big heatsink on here, so obviously it's got some horsepower to deal with. So we'll see if this thing is going to be any better. You know, maybe this one we'll look at. I'm actually going to bookmark this. Let's bookmark that one. So I like the looks of that. It's an Amazon Choice card, you know, and we'll see how it goes. But stay tuned. You'll know if this happens, obviously, because it'll come as an upload to my channel, and you'll be, oh, he did it! Okay. In the meantime, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe and smash the bell for notifications so that you can get a hold of everything I upload and check it out. I'm going to have a lot more tech stuff going on the channel this year, like a lot more. So that's actually been kind of encouraging. We've got some things lined up for you even in the next little while. Some neat little tech gadgets. So stay tuned for that, and we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching. See ya.